Last season, I gave you my top 5 pistes in Chamonix, Saint-Gervais and the Contamine. This year, it's the turn of Combloux, a.k.a. the Portes du Mont Blanc. Combloux is part of the Evasion Mont Blanc ski area. Indeed, it's as far away as you can get from Chamonix on your lift pass without going into another country. Theoretically, it is possible to get here via public transport or to ski over from Saint-Gervais, but in reality, you're not going to do that. It's going to take you all day. So realistically, the only way you're going to be able to ski here is if you have a car. But for those of you who do have transport, it is well worth the trip over here, especially when the snow coverage is good. It is quite a low ski area. Almost the entirety of the skiing is below the tree line. I think the highest point is just over 1900 metres. So it does suffer in a lean snow year, especially when there's not much snow low down. So it's not always worth coming over here. But if there is a good base low down, then it is absolutely worth it. It's known for its long, winding, cruisey pistes. And of course, its absolutely spectacular views. So if you like carving and you like enjoying your skiing in the sunshine with absolutely fantastic vistas, then this is the place to be. It does have a handful of black runs if you want to challenge yourself, but really it's all about the carving on the cruisey blues. So without further ado, let's crack on. First on my list is quite possibly the best. Not because of the quality of the skiing per se, but because of the length of the piste. This is almost certainly the longest single continuous piste on your Chamonix lift pass. Starting from the top of the Cruisey chairlift, heading all the way down to Gietaz. Treffleannaise, which I'm almost certainly murdering the pronunciation, but as you can see from the sign behind me, number 51. That's not the number of the piste, that's an indication of how long it is. Those numbers very rarely get above 20 in Chamonix, and very rarely get above 30 anywhere else. The fact that it's over 50, that implies that this piste is around about 3 to 4 kilometres long, which is amazing for this part of the world. Especially when you consider that this is on a mountain that is below 2,000 metres high. Starts off, nothing spectacular to begin with. It's a nice cruisy straight piste along the line of this drag lift. Before opening out, make sure you go left here. And look at these views already. It is quite flat in a few places, so you need to keep your speed up, especially on a snowboard, but it's definitely worth the effort. The snow is very slushy today. I wouldn't normally be having to skate along here. You can usually keep your speed up quite easily on skis, but it will improve as we get more into the shade. So there is quite a lot of cat track on this piste, which is usually push it way down my list of top pistes, but it's so worth it here because you're actually going on a journey. You start and finish in completely different places, which is not something you can really do in Chamonix, but here you can. It does have some nice wider sections of piste as well, like this, so you can carve. I'm still only just past halfway here. In Chamonix you would have skied 2 different pistes by now. Again, it's a bit flat. I'm struggling to keep any speed today in the soft snow. But soon we're going to pick up again. And we get to here. Now you can enjoy some nice wide turns. This is the shadiest part of the resort, so despite being quite low, the snow here is very reliable. So this piece is open pretty much all season. You can't say that about all the pistes here in Combloux. And here we are on the final pitch down into Gyetaz, where you can open up and enjoy your turns again. And this is Gyetaz. It's a completely different vibe down here to what we left up in Combloux. Combloux is basically part of megeve. It's quite a swanky, posh resort. Down here, much more rural, much more rustic, much more authentic really as well. And again, you get more absolutely amazing views up into the RV. If skiing here in the afternoon, you need to make sure you leave yourself enough time to be able to get back to Combloux or megeve if that's where you've started, because the lifts back up to the top here are very slow, very old, so it will take slightly longer than you think. But it's probably 2 in the afternoon now. I've only just started skiing, I've still got plenty of time to get back, so you don't need to rush, but you do need to be aware that if you don't get back in time, you are stuck here. Another reason for bringing you all the way down here is coming up right now. The viewpoint coming up at the top of this chairlift now is probably my favourite viewpoint in the entire Mont Blanc region. It's absolutely spectacular. A true 360-degree panorama. You've got the entirety of the Gietaz RV stretching out in one direction, the entirety of the Mont Blanc Massif stretching out in the other direction. It is just absolutely phenomenal. Well worth the trip over here just for that reason alone. For what it's worth, you also have some of the best tree skiing on your lift pass over to my right here, from the top of the lift here in Gyetaz. But getting over here on a powder day for most of us coming from the Chamonix direction is pretty problematic, so unfortunately I very rarely ever actually get to ski the trees over here on a powder day. But if for whatever reason you do find yourself over here, there's some absolutely phenomenal tree skiing over to that side. Next on my list conveniently starts right here from the top of this viewpoint, Chevreuils. This is a red run, but in all honesty it's not that steep for a red run. If you're happy on a blue piece, you'll probably be happy on this. And the money shot here is this first section of ridgeline, which is truly spectacular. Just check out these absolutely amazing views in all directions. It gets a little bit steeper now as you go into the trees, but still not too steep. Just make sure you avoid going left there onto the black piece. A nice sweeping bend coming up here now. On the right hander here. Taking the racing line there. That is most of the fun over now. Just a cat track back to the lift. Still pleasant, still enjoyable. Crucially, it's back in the sun as well. You can continue down to the bottom from here to make it an even longer run. Take your pick of any of the other pistes heading down from here. But as I've already said, I'm a bit of a tight schedule today and these are really slow lifts, so I'm going to head back up to the top again. In case you're wondering about my attire today, it is still only the 9th of March, but Mother Nature seems to have forgotten what season it is. It's feeling very, very summery already, which is why the pistes are so sticky. But on the whole, they are still holding up pretty well. Next on my list is Controverse, which is the inverse piste of Treffleannaise, the piste which I took for number 1 on my list today. Conveniently, again, it starts here from this absolutely fantastic viewpoint and heads back towards Combloux and megeve. So this is the piste you need to take if you've come across to here to ski for a few laps to get home again. It's all about this view. Check this out. This isn't quite as long as Treffleannaise, but it's even more spectacular as it traverses the ridge crest for most of its length. And again, it is mostly a cat track, and with the slushy snow today, you can struggle to keep your speed up, but I really don't care because that view is just out of this world. You turn left here, end up back down in the Gietaz, so make sure you don't do that if you need to get home. And this is something which is perhaps unique for a piste, a drag lift which takes you along a flat section of the piste. So the run which I'm about to be going down is still the same piste, it's a continuation of the same run, but rather than having to sidestep or skate your way over this little rise, we're stuck in a poma, which is kind of cool. It is virtually flat, you could ski along here quite easily, but yeah, it's nicer than just to stick this little lift in, make your life a little bit easier. It means you can just sit back, relax and enjoy these absolutely amazing views as well. If you look on the signs, you're still on Controverse. It still is basically a cat track, not the steepest, not the most interesting, but the views just keep on coming. Coming up, we're about to cross Treffleannaise, so just be careful of people tucking to try and get your speed up as they come across here. The queues for this lift can be really long at the end of the day in peak season, just bear that in mind. The first 3 runs on my list really pick themselves, as I'm sure you'll agree if you do them, they are absolutely spectacular. Number 5 is also an absolute banger, that was easy to choose. But the 4th one I've struggled with a little bit. The piste which I was going to choose has already closed for the season due to lack of snow. And that is a problem here, as I've already said, it is quite a low resort. It's got a pretty short season on some of the runs, especially the runs without snow cannons. So I have to think outside the box a little bit here. There are loads of excellent pistes, but a lot of them are quite similar to the piste which I'm going to choose for number 5. I don't just want to choose duplicates, parallel runs which start and finish in the same place. So, seeing as I'm already working my way back from Gietaz towards Combloux, I'm going to choose this red run, Gypaete. So this starts from the top of the Cruisey chairlift, or the Bonjour Poma if you're coming back from Gietaz, then you hang a right around here. And again, we're onto another absolutely beautiful ridgeline with stunning views in all directions. Look at that! Bit of a flat spot here, so you keep speed up, especially on a snowboard. Opens out into another big expansive view again. It's starting to get a little bit icy now in the shade as the slush is freezing over. Back into the sun. It's a nice long run as well. We're still going on a journey even here. The Portes du Mont Blanc as a ski area has a pretty large footprint. It covers a pretty big distance from Combloux and Megeve all the way across to the Gietaz and back, but it's also got quite a low piste density. There's not actually a huge number of pistes here, so even though it covers a wide area, the actual total number of kilometres of piste isn't huge compared to some of the other resorts in the region. But even so, you can still go on a really big journey here. That is what makes it stand out really. You're covering large distances even though there's not a huge number of pistes to choose from. Number 5 on my list really is a world-class piste. It's long, it's wide, it's winding, it's varied, and it starts with this absolutely massive view up here as well. So this probably has the best skiing of all of the 5 pistes I've chosen. It's just not quite as big of a journey as number 1, but yeah, of course, if you're after skiing itself, then this is a much better piste. It starts at the top of the Portes, or maybe Portes lift, if you're coming up from Combloux side, or Prey if you're coming across from the Gietaz, and heads back down towards Combloux. So this is a great piece to take at the end of the day as the last run, as your home run, as you can continue it all the way down to the car park. Or equally, you can lap it as well, you don't need to go all the way down. But especially at the end of the day, the lighting down here is pretty phenomenal as well. So it's a great one to leave to the end. And here we go. Check this out. Little flat spot here, just keep speed up, especially on a snowboard. And as soon as the gradient soon picks up again. Lovely and wide. Any one of these pistes off to my right, the red pistes, are also excellent. I could have chosen them, but this is just slightly better. I didn't want duplicates, like I say. They all start and finish at the same place as this, which is why they're not on the list. I'd highly recommend lapping all of those as well as doing this one. Really open out your turns here, carve like a boss. Perfect gradient for carving. And with the snow cannons, it always has good snow as well. So this will be open from the start to finish of the season. Again, it's a little bit sticky here today, but it's not usually too bad. Still carved. And now we're properly in the trees. Like I said, lots of variety. The wide open expansive views at the top, tight and winding through the trees down here, before opening back out again at the bottom. So from here, if you went left, you get back down to the car park, but I'm going to go back up and ski it again. There you have it, my top 5 pistes from Combloux and the Portes du Mont Blanc. Today's snow conditions perhaps doesn't show it in its best light, but when there is good snow, it really is an absolutely fantastic place to come on piste skiing and carving. If you love carving, the pistes here are generally immaculate when there is good snow. So if you haven't seen them already, then you'll find a link up here to my other top 5 pistes videos, so go check those out as well. And if you've enjoyed today's video and you've got something useful out of it, then please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you very, very soon with another video just like this.